what happened to Hannah Kobyashi? Everybody here on Maui is wondering. The facts don't really add up. If you haven't heard the latest, first of all, a little more than a week ago, unfortunately, her dad committed suicide. Probably, right? There's always a chance that somebody that jumps off a ledge, off a building, or off a balcony or lanai, that maybe, because that's what Putin always does, maybe somebody caused it. There's always that possibility, but it was written off as a suicide. And then they recently just came out and told us, she happily, voluntarily crossed over the border into Mexico. So now we can't even find her in our country. She's off in another country where she's most likely in danger. They think she was scammed by some sort of romance scam. And you got to understand that people from here are pretty innocent. We don't have big cities. You can live a long life here and not really be exposed to much crime at all, or people with criminal intent. And so who knows what happened. All of her emails seem very suspicious. It seems like the LAPD just wanted to wash its hands and say, it's not our problem anymore. She went over into Mexico, and it looked like she did it voluntarily. So, all of this was for nothing, sort of thing, right? And then, of course, that's extra heartbreaking if her dad committed suicide, presuming that that's true, that it was a suicide. He's dead, and she's still alive somewhere, and maybe knows it. And so maybe that was why she complied, because they threatened to kill more of her family or something. What if that was, maybe that's why he died, because it was a way to enforce a threat that they had over her to make her comply with their wishes. I don't know. The whole thing's very scary and strange, and it's unresolved. And she's now in Mexico, and I assume that thousands of internet sleuthers are out there, eyes wide open, looking for her and trying to solve the case. So more power to y'all. I hope somebody sees her, somebody knows something, somebody has answers, because I think we're all looking for them, just like with that CEO killing. And I guess that guy made a whole bunch of helped the company make $280 billion by raising their denial rate from like 10% to like 22, 23%, something like that. And just denied a lot of people, probably cost them their lives. So, sounds like there's a lot of grievance out there against the healthcare industry. I don't know why we don't just build a bunch of $100 million free hospitals. Think of $40 billion. We build $100 million hospitals. That's it, just $40 billion. You have $100 million hospitals spread around the 50 states, serving everyone's needs, just free hospitals. And then let the private market do what it wants on the side, but we could do that. Anyway, that's my big idea for solving the health crisis. I could also make $50 million hospitals, $500 million hospitals, and for a lot less than we're spending now, probably serve a lot of people with no red tape. Just show up if you're hurt, and we'll fix you. If you got a broken arm, show up. Doesn't matter if you're a tourist, doesn't matter if you're an immigrant, doesn't matter if you're a citizen. Give veterans priority, The only people you get priority at the free hospital is the veterans, and then it's like a backup to the VA, or maybe the first choice. Anyway, that's my big idea for the day. And so the Hannah situation brings up something that may not even be an issue in this case, but it may be. If you're from a small town, if you're from Maui, and you travel somewhere, do not have headphones on or in your ears. Use your hearing. Do not look down at your phone. Keep your eyes up, your ears out, right? The only way you can avoid being a victim is by being aware of your surroundings. And so many people today don't allow themselves to be aware of their surroundings. So consider that, right? And what else? Oh, and then the other thing, because it looks like her whole case started with a tight layover that she missed. So nowadays, if you don't know this, your airline is going to screw up. Either the plane's going to be late getting there just to pick you up in the first place, which is then going to deliver you late and make it so you miss your next flight if you have a tight layover, or the next flight is going to be delayed, and then that'll stop you from getting to the next destination, which will stop you from getting on that plane if it's 2 layovers, right? So give yourself a long layover purposefully. You need to give your airline the ability to make mistakes. Why? Because they will. And it's okay to be on time after a long flight, but it's no fun to spend a day at an airport waiting for the next day to get another flight, right? Which I have done because of a tight layover and because of their mistakes. So that's what started it for her, and I wish she'd had a long layover that would have helped her just make her first plane. And then if she was, affected by somebody on the streets who saw her vulnerability with her headphones on, maybe she was looking down at a map or something, really making it obvious that she's alone and not from here and not able to hear or see her surroundings. Maybe she was negatively affected by somebody in those conditions, or maybe she was part of some sort of romance scam. It's one of the things that they think, but her sister doesn't really think that jives, and it just seems weird, but you just don't know. LA's got all kinds of nefarious characters, a lot different than little old Maui here, where people are pretty innocent. So, where is Hannah Kobyashi? I hope we find out, and everyone is concerned for her. She just appears to be the sweetest girl ever, a photographer, an artist. So that's all. If you didn't know about the story, look it up. Find her picture. Look at her face. If you travel to Mexico, keep your eyes peeled for her. Let's hope we find out that she's safe and back at home soon. Anyway, have a great day. Do no harm, do no crime. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time. Aloha.